something new. You waited for someone to save you and left me all alone. I wanna tell you something new. You drove us both into a wall, but the only hurt was me. It's the longest night of my life, and the longest goodbye I've cried. I drive away into the night, and I contemplate for a while. When you love someone, you just can't stop. Spin the wheels until they drop. Don't you wish I would have been someone else? I wanna feel your gas without making a mess. And you tell me something new. You waited for someone to save you and left me all alone. I wanna tell you something new. You drove us both into a wall, but the only hurt was me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for day 2 of the Stacks Gamehouse Invitational. My name's TJ, joined by the one, the only, the illustrious D2. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I just had another window open randomly, so I just got very confused for a second, but I'm doing okay now.
Wait, hold up.
We are indeed.
Give me more information on that. Your windows are opening randomly?
No, a window on my computer.
Oh, I was
Right,
like, you're
and so-
haunted, Daniel. That's ghosts. That's what that is. On your computer.
Right when you got into your intro, some other music and stuff was playing. I was like, "What is that? What's going on, TJ?
got it.
Stop it!" Like, oh, wait, it's me.
Understand.
Yeah, anyway, I'm not quite.
Those
haunted.
aren't
maybe haunted by
ghosts.
the computer.
Those are computer ghosts. Got it. Speaking of computer ghosts, Tribe Gaming. Nope, I don't know how that segue works. Take a look at the bracket. Tribe Gaming are here in our round 3, taking on Naguara, who are so far doing quite well in the bracket. They took down KND in the first round, then Just for Fun in the second round, which gets them all the way here undefeated, as are Tribe Gaming, who currently haven't dropped a single game.
And that makes all the difference, because even though, like you mentioned, both are undefeated, Tribe Gaming is undefeated in games, which means they now have 20 points, and Naguara only has 15. Because if you win a series 2-1, you get 5 points, and if you sweep the series, you get 10 points. So Tribe is a leg up on them at the moment. It will need to defeat them, though, to keep that leg up.
Oh, I like it. I have to tell you, why am I so small? Sorry, that's unrelated. I'm going to make myself bigger while I talk.
I can, hold on.
No,
I can
I've
just
got
do
this. I have to tell you, Daniel, I've been casting some of the Southeast Asian tournaments. I was just up last night commentating. I'm big
Oh,
now.
jeez, you're big. I feel like I'm getting attacked. Oh, no.
I was up last night commentating the Southeast Asian Icon series, starting in Malaysia. And I saw some really good League of Legends Wild Rift. And I know it's unfair, they've had the game a little bit longer, but right now, they're playing better. So, I'm looking for Tribe Gaming, who were kind of the far and away best team yesterday, to maintain that record rather than trip up. I want to see Tribe Gaming stay on top of the mountain and prove to me their roster of Vainglory veterans and 80s hero is going to be enough to hold the standard for North America on the world stage.
I'm just looking forward to TJ just watching these NA players, and a combination of casting 3 tournaments in the last 12 hours or whatever it was, and also, just being used to that level, that prior level performance. Just watching these games and like, what are they doing? How are they? Anyway,
It was great. I was the color commentator for that tournament, so I got to do that. There are two roles in casting, right? There's the play-by-play, whose role it is to be like, whoa, that's crazy! And there's the color commentator, whose job it is to be like, that's stupid, I don't understand why they're doing that, they should have been doing this. And when I cast with you, Daniel,
I don't think
the
you
toxic
explained those roles very
TJ
well,
needs
but
to
okay.
stay inside of me. The toxic TJ needs to stay in my heart. Whereas when I'm casting with other people and they're doing the play-by-play, toxic TJ lives free.
Unchained. Unchained by the roles of society. In any case, we could also talk about the other teams that we haven't seen quite yet.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So by like what's the math term? Like when you compare certain things, like if A is greater than B and B is greater than C, then
The
A is greater than C.
transitive property. You are so
there you
lucky.
go.
I know that one. I don't know why.
I don't know if it matters, but thank you very much. So you can kind of get an idea of like how the teams are stacking up, right? For instance, we saw Tribe Gaming really just take it to Team Got Corky, but Team Got Corky, we saw, did defeat Team Divine 2.0 pretty handily, especially in that third game that we were able to pick up on. And then what was the first game we saw? We saw Shogunate Gaming beat Team Snow, so that was pretty convincing as well. Team Snow then lost to KND the following, so Snow not looking too good. Team Divine 2.0 not looking so great either. So we're starting to see how these 8 teams are shaping out.
I would like to report there is a Tribe Gaming member in chat, and they say, we're not dropping any games today.
No, bold claims.
So, there you go. We will
Where are
see.
they playing? What's their second round? They're playing Naguara right now, and they're playing Shogunate later. And Shogunate, we don't have their round 2 score, but they did beat Team Snow in the first round. So
Yeah, that was
we'll see what
old
happens.
school, to clarify. That was Tribe Gaming's old school.
Mhm.
So, we have two best of 3s today. That will conclude our group stage. And then we are going to broadcast the rest of the games at a future date. So be sure to follow whatever channel you're watching this on. It's being aired on my Twitch channel, trovo.live/stacksgamehouse. So you can find it however you like. Sorry, I'm paying attention to this side as we do have the pick ban, I believe, beginning right now. So we're on our way to game number 1. How are you feeling about the pick ban? Back in Arena of Valor, you used to do all the tier lists. Who do you think should be banned right now?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot. You should have told me you're gonna ask me this beforehand. Who would I think should be banned? I don't think that junglers should be banned as often as they are in general, because I don't think they're really an issue. I suppose if like Lee Sin is, we saw an incredible Lee Sin in the last game of the day yesterday, where they were just picking up kills in the early stages of the game. So if your opponents are capable of that kind of nonsense, then for sure. I think for some reason Corky has been extremely strong, so I'm not really against that kind of ban because teams have been very comfortable with him and he's become sort of like a pet pick. But honestly, there's no real super overpowered heroes or champions at the moment. I'm getting my terminology mixed up. So I mean, there's usually a pool of like 10 to 20 champions where you can legitimately call them a normal ban in any circumstances.
Yeah, so in Southeast Asia, this was one of I got to be the color caster. I got to be rude to everyone. I was getting really upset at some of the ban stuff because they were just like banning random top laners.
Right.
Camille is good right now, but if you ban Camille, then someone's going to get a Kali, that sort of thing. So I didn't super agree with that. I think Sorry?
Sorry, I just want to jump on that point because last time I cast Wild Rift, like a month ago or so, Camille was an extremely good pick, and I think it was like one of the stealth best picks that you could have. So at the time, I think Camille was like one of the best bans you could make. And it was because people were like, she really dealt well with Fiora, and she really dealt well with Kennen. Kennen was like one of the first bans at the time because he's overpowered. And then Camille was one of the best to deal with that, as long as your Camille was really good. So I think it's one of those cases where people were behind the meta in a sense, and they were kind of like just auto banning certain champions that were, you know, bannable a while earlier, right? Like Camille was like a really how to explain this? Camille was a ban that should have been banned earlier, and then people took a long time to like kind of get used to that, and then it kind of reversed, where she was getting banned when she really shouldn't have been.
Yeah. I cast through that, right? So the thing for me was I just want to see everyone who is playing in competitive be banning to enable their composition. And that's the hard part. When you go into the pick ban, you need to know exactly what your draft game plan is, what your win condition is for the team you're going to draft, and then your bans need to be part of that. Whereas too often when you go into the pick ban, I think people are banning characters they just don't like, and then picking characters they do like, which is like a decent way to win a ranked game, but in competitive, the way your team works together is more important than any of that.
Right, and you sometimes get the opposite too, where if you're super successful with a certain champion, you end up banning that champion out, and it's like they weren't going to use that, and it's not going to hurt you anyway. So yeah, in fact, you're stepping on your own feet in this instance. So I do agree with you in the overall sense of things, where teams should be thinking about the specifics rather than this champion good ban or this champion good / I can't play them ban, right?
Yeah,
I think people just follow the meta, quote unquote, a little bit too much, and they don't really think personally too much.
It should be what is our game plan and build around that.
Right.
Let's talk about the bans that are coming through. Max Green and Tribe Gaming have banned out Evelyn and Galio. On the opposite side, we will get rid of Corky and Braum.
Speaking of Evelyn, she's just been, permabanned the entire time. I'm kind of curious to see like how she's operating in the current meta.
We got a game of her in Malaysia. She's good. Like, I don't want to frame it. She's a top tier jungler, but there's no reason to run her over a Lee Sin, right? There are other top tier junglers. Jarvan Lee Sin is kind of the rotation we're seeing a lot in Southeast Asia.
Well, the funny thing about her was she was primarily jungle, and then they buffed her first ability, and then suddenly she was overpowered in mid, and then they nerfed her a bit, and then all of a sudden she was garbage in mid, and then she's overpowered in jungle. So I don't know. I've been confused about Evelyn.
I mean, life is like that sometimes. No, we're not going to see any Evelyn mid these days. We are going to see what we see locked in instantly. Alistair, I think, is the best support right now. Insta-locked. Akali, I think, is the best top laner right now. Insta-locked. I think Kai'Sa is the best AD carry right now. Insta-locked. That's the early phase of your draft. It's real easy. Now we got to get into the hard part. How do you build a team that succeeds with what you've set up?
I think we're seeing a bit of a strategy. What's Naguara's strategy here is, though, because they banned Braum as their last ban, and then they instantly picked Alistair, right? So a lot of times you have like this Alistair-Braum kind of duel, the big beefy supports to get in that front line. And so they immediately take one of them, prevent the other from getting the other, and now we have Tribe kind of picking from the scraps.
Yeah, speaking of the scraps, Ziggs Vi. I don't know. I think Ziggs and Vi are incredible. This is actually a really fun team composition from Tribe.
I thought you were going to say Jetta, because Jetta was like the leftover support.
No, I think Jetta's really good as well.
I know, but that's what what I was referring to was like the scraps of the support, and they had to pick Jetta. So anyway, it's fine.
There's actually a really good double shield composition here. I don't know how I feel about this, because you have Janna Orianna. So if they decide somebody's not going to die, they're going to get like 40 more HP.
And I'm pretty sure that someone's going to be Kai'Sa. So Kai'Sa might be going off this game.
Yeah, I mean, this does feel like a funnel, and I do have the team names backwards, I apologize. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a funnel Kai'Sa composition as it currently stands. And that's something to keep our eyes on. On the opposite side, you're probably going to see the Ziggs take to the mid line, which is going to work well, especially versus an Orianna, because you can just keep the Orianna at range, shove her underneath the turret, but it's not going to be as game-winning as that matchup can be against other top laners who can't deal with that, against like melees, for instance. So I expect that mid lane to go pretty even during the early stage.
I'm really curious about how this mid lane works out, especially since the Orianna nerf. Right, because previously Oriana just kind of beat up on Ziggs. They have pretty similar damage. Ziggs technically in his kit has more damage, but Oriana has kind of more reliable damage early because of her auto attack. And late game, because she starts getting ahead because of that early game, she has basically similar damage, but she also has a shield, and so that gives her the advantage overall. But with these new nerfs to Oriana, it might be a bit closer. We'll have to see.
Oh no. I can't zoom out again. I don't know what changed. The
Wait,
spectator mode
what?
hates me. I can't zoom out.
Have you tried like double clicking? Like you tap and drag?
Yes. We've
Okay.
tried all the techniques. The one
Oh,
that
darn.
saved us yesterday is not saving us anymore. So
Oh no,
we will
that is just unfortunate.
we'll try our best.
Can you turn the sound on my side down a little bit?
Sure.
Sorry. Because it's extremely loud. Just like shooting at the videos, like shong, swing.
That's just, we want
Like,
the
oh, no.
ASMR experience. All right, I turned everything down for you a little bit, so let me know if that is too much.
Typically, ASMR isn't like the person like whispering as loud as they can into the mic.
That's how I do
Hi.
ASMR. Am I doing it wrong?
I hope you're relaxing.
Sleepover in 1995 energy. ASMR. It's my new YouTube channel. Are you asleep yet? We've started this game very slowly across the board. Nobody taking any risks.
Okay, it's still extremely loud. I'm sorry. It's like on my side. The game sound.
We'll see what I can
It's
do.
like I don't want to like ruin the
I will
experience for the viewers,
cut
but
it out.
I'd like.
You are not getting any game sound. Deal with it.
Oh no, I'm still getting game sound. I think that's the issue.
Oh.
You're probably double sending me sound. That's why.
That is interesting. See what I can do about
Yeah, I think.
that. Go ahead and cover this action as I work on that problem.
Okay. All right. Well, we have most of the members of Tribe heading towards the bottom lane, trying to push down on this turret at the moment. But Naguara is holding strong and not letting anything get through. So that means that at the moment we're pretty even, though Tribe have managed to squeeze out an extra 500 gold or so. And as you can see in the Naguara side jungle, Olaf kind of getting a little spicy. Also getting extremely low. Does go down. Very nice ult there from the Oriana because she is jumped on by the Vi. Ult comes out from the Ziggs as well. And he's going to be able to maybe get away. A little bit spicy there with the axe coming out from Olaf. But looks like teams are going to back off. And it's going to be 1-0 lead here for the side of Tribe.
A really good flash away. You can see kind of the combination from Naguara there as they're trying to set up a very solid front line, and the Ziggs throws damage over the top. It's a very standard front-to-back team comp, and it works well, but Tribe Gaming have so much mobility and damage on their team that if they just outposition and outplay during the fights, they're going to come out on top because they do have the extra stats. They do have more damage. It comes down to positioning and whether or not their weakness in HP is punished.
Okay, are you working on that still? Sorry.
I am, sorry.
Okay. I was wondering if you thought it was fixed because it's not. My ears are still
Wait,
bleeding.
you're still hearing audio?
Yes,
Huh.
yes.
I cut out the audio entirely for the stream, and I guess that has not.
Oh,
fixed
yeah. I
anything
think
for you.
the stream's probably fine. I think it's what
What
you're
about now?
sending me. Yes, much better. Whew.
You have no
Oh, my
game audio
eyes.
now. Yeah.
No game audio. Yeah, it's better because before I was like, my ears were exploding. Anyway, sorry, viewers / chat. That was a me issue, not a you issue.
This Drake will be up for grabs, our first of the game. Over the wall goes the attempt for the steal, and it works! Tribe have the Drake stolen out from underneath them by Yang. However, they're going to really struggle to turn around this fight. Old School needs to use the killer instinct in the back, doesn't have any support. Yang still chasing. It's been a very hard fight for Naguara to win overall, but they're able to trade even. Starting goes down in exchange for the opposing mid laner, and it's 1-for-1. Drake stolen away. Naguara out on top.
Wait, are you sure? I think that was a 3-for-1 here for Naguara because they were down 0-1 before that fight even started. So I think they got a 3-for-1 and they got
Very
the
cool.
dragon, which is very impressive. Yeah, I'm actually surprised that Tribe Gaming decided to take that Drake in that fashion. They were all clumped up in the dragon pit, and obviously it's a very vulnerable position to be in if the other side can kind of hop over the wall like that, and they got punished. Honestly, I was like, well, they know what they're doing, and turns out they didn't exactly know what they're doing.
Yeah, really, really good aggression out of them. We'll have to see if it's paid off as they continue to press forward now. Underneath the turret, this Gragas is going to get Shockwave. Tribe want to be able to get something back here in the bottom lane. They'll drop the Redemption and play defensively. Max Green still has the Monsoon to deploy and is looking for the right space to use it, but won't need to. Tribe don't overstay the fight and now can disengage. Ultimate still in hand, ready to go further if necessary.
Yeah, Vive looking for an opportunity to jump in there. But as you mentioned, Tribe get out with just a little bit of health on each member. This does provide a little bit of an opportunity here for Naguara to perhaps get something done, but very nice defense from them. No one goes down, and they are able to push off Tribe without anything happening overall as far as objectives or kills are concerned.
Naguara doing an incredible job of responding to the aggression the Tribe are offering across the map. With Death will be in trouble in the bottom lane, drops the explosive cask and is just running for their life. He's not been working out enough though.
There.
Yeah.
That's one of those situations where you just spam it. You're like, get away from me, please. Like, oh no, I just pushed myself in the wrong, or pushed him in the wrong direction. Not so good. In any case, doesn't go well for them. And here's the Rift Herald.
Here it is indeed. Yang over the wall will dive the back one, trying to shut down, starting on the Orianna and chasing him all the way to the back of the fight, but the double shield comp is paying off, and in the meantime, Sound Sirius is gone. Aces kiting very well, as is the entirety of Tribe. They're now up 2 kills as Xerath falls. There's no AD carry, there's no mid laner. Yang, what can you do except run for your life? And that's going to be all. The Alistair, Avonin takes the front lines, and with a nice flash will disengage, but 80s is on the chase, underneath the turret, and they're unable to find the kill despite dropping all the members of Naguara incredibly low.
Yeah, it doesn't. It seems like it's a little bit of a waste of Tribe's time to be chasing like this, but it does keep them under turret, and they're unable to go back, and they even get the kill in the end, as you saw there. They got double kill. So sometimes people think that this aggression is unwarranted, but you're seeing all the fruits that it's bearing out here. Getting 3 kills out of it because you're locking the opponent under their turret. And it's not like you're getting nothing done on your side either, right? They were picking up minion waves. They were picking up, whatever they can on the other side of the map. And yeah, everything that they did there, it seemed like it was like turning into them running into a wall, but it actually ended up working to their favor by a lot.
Yeah, really, really good fight for Tribe Gaming. They get a couple of kills, I think 4 in total, as well as the Rift Herald, which will set them up for success here. They also have the first turret of the game, breaking the bot lane turret a few moments ago. So, very good times for Tribe Gaming as they earned out a 5,000 gold lead.
Pretty big here. 3 seconds on that dragon. All 5 members, look at this, all 5 members of Naguara are just like, we are getting this dragon. Let me tell you.
Here they go for it. Focus in. Avorin on the front lines, playing Alistair, zoning, bullet time, very low HP. Dragon will be secure. Now can Naguara get away with any of their members? No, I don't think so. Dragon stolen, players dead. It is an awful time. This is a massive team fight again for Tribe. Only 1 player alive. That's going to be With Death, sitting behind the turret.
I love Tiger's his just suicide march to the dragon, because when you pop your ult as Olaf, you're immune to CC, you're immune to any kind of stuns of that sort, right? But you're weaker, you have less defense. And so he's just like, I'm going to get this dragon. So after they killed the Alistair, he made a beeline toward the dragon, jumped on it, smited it. They picked it up for his team, and he immediately fell afterward. But it's just like worth it. Got him.
And Tribe Gaming, they came in here today saying they weren't going to drop a single game. I think you can see them kind of, I don't want to say leveling up as this game goes on, but maybe taking it a little more seriously. We go from a team
Yeah, it was
that's
dicey early for sure. Yeah.
running around the map, having some fun, going for some early fights, to a team that is approaching these dragon and objective fights very intelligently, because Naguara did prove themselves able to go toe-to-toe. And they still have a composition I would give an edge, even with this 10,000 gold deficit. I would say Tribe Gaming need to be very careful around 5v5 team fights, because Naguara do have that front-to-back composition.
Right, and you've seen in both the team fights thus far, or at least the ones around
Yeah.
the dragon, that the team that goes for the objective first is the one who ends up the worst off in the team fight in the end. So yeah, you're gonna have to see a little bit better zoning from both teams as we go forward.
Rift Herald will be summoned here. And as it arcs towards this turret, there is nothing Naguara can do. The team fight for Avonin has gone horribly wrong. This Alistair has 1 HP and is gone. Bullet time will have to be interrupted. Zeref needs to flash away just to survive. And I do not see a way these 4 players can now stop anything as the shockwave is carried in by 80s. He just brings that Orianna ultimate into the middle of the team fight and it pays off. Max Green finally spends the monsoon. And as a result, nobody dies on the blowback. 2 turrets gone, 4 more kills. Say hello to your new Baron holder, Tribe Gaming.
I don't think I've ever seen that before. Just the planned jump in on the Akali with the ultimate from the Orianna in tow. Just like, here comes a bomb, let's do it. It's kind of like a make your own fizz bomb, except a lot more damage. But that was pretty fun to see. The other thing I was laughing at earlier while you were commentating, TJ, is I just thought it was hilarious to see the Misfortune pop her ult, and yet all members of Tribe were walking straight towards her through the bullet.
They
time.
did not
It's
care.
Like, that is
They had no fear.
It is not a sight you want to be seeing as Misfortune. Like, what? I'm shooting at them. Why are they running towards me? Oh my goodness, that was just hilarious.
Tiger says, it
like,
feels
I
like
gotta
rain
get out
on
of
my back, and I hate the rain.
here.
Turret will fall here,
Any case.
30 seconds on the 3rd Drake of the game, if Tribe decide they need it.
Oh, they have the Baron buff, by the way, so that's why they're pushing so hard.
Yep, they picked it up. It was on screen. You were just talking about rain or something.
No, I know, but like I'm just because I don't think anyone would like jump to go for the dragon. I mean, we've seen teams go for the dragon in these circumstances, but I think it's a mistake every time. You gotta try to use the minions while you have them.
Hoo hoo hoo! Shockwave will find the
love that.
kill. That's my call
That's
of
why I
it.
love Orianna. This is what I love Orianna. Like sometimes someone just dies and you're like, oh, just Orianna things. Someone just died right now. Okay, they were behind turret, but doesn't matter.
Veronin will try and CC people underneath the turret, and with bullet time, they're not able to find the kill. He gets away. 80s nearby will survive as well as starting pushes past the turret, and they nearly find kills inside the fountain proper. That inhibitor turret, the first of the game, will fall. Midlane, there's a similar attempt with starting just chewing away at that turret's HP, but I don't think they'll quite be able to finish it.
Yeah, we somehow gone to a 20k gold lead. I'm not really sure how that happened. Obviously, it's been a dominant game here from the side of Tribe, but
Naguara haven't
Yeah,
been able to leave their base for the last 5 minutes. So they've just got
Right.
no added gold, whilst Tribe has been, as you notice, very actively clearing out the jungle.
right. But this is kind of a point where like, it just shows how dominant Tribe is as a team, right? Because even teams that you see can't leave their base for 5 minutes, as you say, the gold lead gets maybe 5k, maybe to 7k, but you never see teams go like jump straight to 20k gold lead just off of the fact that they've kept their opponents pinned. So very well done by Tribe. They're crossing their T's, dotting their I's, making sure to do everything by the book, and that's why they have such a massive lead.
Here we go. Super Minions down the mid lane. Super Minions also available in the bottom lane. We'll see whether or not we use any of those. Let's do the 80s cam. 80s hero starting this fight off with a dive in. I made a great choice. 1 kill found, dancing into the backlines, trying to find access to the Misfortune. But you can see the full Gragas combo. You did not need to stasis there. It did 0 damage. In the meantime, the rest of the team is looking for the final inhibitor turret, and a
Oh.
good explosive cask sets things up. Bullet time as well, but Old School just drops into stasis and does not die. And now it is Tribe Gaming's turn. Their entire team vanishes. It is just Xerath all alone inside the base as the Tribe Gaming side push forward and secure game number 1.
I feel like the end of that game was just a tutorial on how to use stasis. It's like, this is a bad stasis. This is a good stasis. Sorry, 80-0. Any case, good job, Tribe.
Yeah, AZ's not dying that game, so, you know, not taking any risks.
Oh, that's when we remember the other day, or yesterday, I should say.
We
when
were
getting
flaming him
mad at
because he
for
died
dying.
like twice, and we were like, come on, Aces, you're letting all the Arena Valor players down. Well, now, it's a team of Vainglory players. Matt, guess what all of the Vainglory players have in common?
They all died.
They all died. Guess what the one Arena Valor player has? 0 deaths! I had to stuff my microphone into my mouth to achieve that, and I would like praise. I'm suffering for my art. Starting does the majority of the damage on the team. Orianna, very good. And this was one of the things I was getting kind of alarmed by in the draft over in the Southeast Asia region. I don't think people are valuing Orianna enough.
She has been nerfed, I think, a couple times now, so that's part of the reason why. But you can see just the duel between Orianna and Ziggs just heavily in favor of Orianna. Also, that's partly the team as well. The first serious team fight around the Rift Herald, or I guess the second one, it was just Tigers on top of Ziggs the entire time and making his life just a living hell. So obviously it's a team effort, but overall, or I should say maybe specifically, Orianna definitely had the upper hand over Ziggs here.
Yeah, and that will mean we're at a 1-0 scoreline currently with Tribe Gaming in the lead. And we are going to go over to a lightning-fast break. I'm going to use this time to try and sort out the audio so we can have game audio without killing Daniel during the next game. And we shall be back with game number 2 of our series as we continue to broadcast the SGH Wild Rift Invitational.
tell me something new? You waited for someone to save you and left me all alone. I wanna tell you something new. You drove us both into a wall, but the only hurt was me. It's the longest night of my life, and the longest goodbye I've cried. I drive away into the night, and I contemplate for a while. When you love someone, you just can't stop. You spin the wheels until they drop. Don't you wish I would have been someone else? I wanna feel your death without making a mess of you. Won't you tell me something new? You waited for someone to save you and left me all alone. I wanna tell you something new. You drove us both into a wall, but the only hurt was the most humble possible way, and the strongest way I can say. I wish you all the best I can. Then I stop myself for a while. I'm saying things I don't believe. The panics rising up in me. Won't you tell me something new? You waited for someone to save you and left me all alone. I wanna tell you something new. You drove us both into a wall, but the only hurt was
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is time for game number 2 between Naguara and Tribe Gaming. And now, with new and improved audio, Daniel Dtwo Akuda, who's joining me today, can broadcast without losing his voice or ears. That's the thing you need.
It's so loud, my voice went away. that's how loud.
Well, it's because you're shouting to be heard over the sound that you kind of heard. That's
true.
Yeah. Game number 2 here at the Stacks Gamehouse Wild Rift Invitational in round 3 of our group stage. And Naguara came in here undefeated against the prospective kings of North America, Tribe Gaming, and got slapped around. Now, game number 2, the bans are Corky, Evelyn, Alistair, Brom, and the picks so far, Galio for Naguara. They complete it with A. Akali and Kaisa. It'll be Janna first pick into Olaf from Tribe Gaming.
Two things that are interesting to me here. First, we haven't seen Galio really win or be played by the superior team yet, so I want to see how Tribe play. By the way, you have the team switched. The other thing is that
You're literally a cop. I'm never talking to you again.
sorry. The other thing I want to mention is that Naguara, for the second game in a row, have really prioritized picking the meta supports here. And in the bans, we had Alistair and Braum as our final two bans. So Tribe kind of wised up to what Naguara was trying to do the previous game, and so they were like, okay, we're just going to get rid of both supports here. And despite that, Naguara goes first pick support once more, probably believing that Janna is the next support down the in power. So that means that we have Tribe actually going for, looks like a Galio support in the end, and they're not really too concerned with Naguara's perspective of how the supports work here.
Yeah, I actually really like this Tribe draft though, because it's the global mobility draft. They have Twisted Fate, who can TP anywhere, and Galio, who can follow him anywhere. So they can instantly have a two-man roam to literally anywhere on the map. And they also have a ton of mobility that sets up for the Galio really well. So I think overall, I really like what they're bringing to the table. They're going to move very fast around the map. They're going to dive in. They're going to be able to follow through on those dives with the Galio. And if the fights get messy, you have Kai'Sa to clean it up. On the opposite side, Naguara have Janna, Olaf, Ezreal, Asol, and Gragas, which doesn't click as much for me. This is what I was talking about, where you have a whole bunch of characters that are good but don't have a whole lot of synergy. That's what this feels like to me. I don't see it working together especially well.
I don't think you should abbreviate ASOL when speaking anymore.
ASOL?
Aurelians. When you say ASOL, it doesn't sound. It sounds like a bad word, TJ.
Okay.
Anyway, that's just me having an immature mind.
Oh my god! She's sliding! She's just, look at this! What?
You didn't notice this? Dude, this is that was my revelation from like.
And I can zoom out!
Slide out of the base.
It's fixed! Sorry,
yes,
we're good.
Yes. Okay, anyway, almost all members slide out of the base at the beginning of the game when you're spectating. Anyway, so I was about to say, referring to Tribe's drafts, I would be skeptical of it if it weren't Tribe playing it, right? Because it requires a pretty high skill ceiling, or high skill floor, I should say. Just a lot of darting in and out from the Lee Sin, the Akali, and the Kai'Sa. And if you're not really on top of things and playing your champion to perfection, it can really go against you because your characters are basically flimsy in general. Also, the skill required in having all the jumps in and out with the Galio and
hold up
as well. So this is going to be difficult.
I just want to yell with joy for a moment. This is, I would like to confirm, of course, a Galio support. This is the first Galio support I have seen in competitive. And it is so exciting to me because I think Galio is one of the best supports right now.
I said that in the draft.
I know, but I was doing like 6,000 production things. What is this? Stun underneath the turret?
Goodness.
Okay, they find the kill.
That's exactly what I was referring to earlier as well. It's just like, you have to be
Flash
good to play
out.
these champions, and Tribe is good.
He lives! The heal keeps starting alive. Sad Sirius underneath the turret is looking for anything. And they will finally be able to shut down Max Green, so it's a 1-for-1 trade, but onto the opposing support.
Yeah, again, the very high skill required to play these champions here from Tribe. Oh, as they go in once more, 80s wants them. Sansarius
should fall to 80s here. Has to flash underneath the turret. The shielding will keep him alive. A good use of barrier, keeping him up. So I apologize for not hearing you if you called it during the draft, but I was doing production stuff. I wasn't being able to pay too much attention to what you were saying. I'm super excited to see Galio support because I do think they're incredibly good, and this is the first one. This is the first one I've ever seen.
Yeah, to be fair, I wasn't.
Rod of Ages start as well.
Too much. Sorry?
Rod of Ages start for this Galio support.
Okay. Anyway, I didn't really point it out that much. I was like, oh, Galio support. So I guess I didn't give it its fair due.
We need to talk about Galio support for like at least 3 minutes. Tribe Gaming.
Well, I mean, you have the floor, so go ahead.
I yield the floor. Tribe Gaming start this game slow and steady across the map. They do have a 1,000 gold lead. And the reganking top lane again. Here's this global mobility starting. Shows up in lane. Gold card is dealt. And all that you receive on Naguara is a card that says L in gold embroidery. Here comes Sad Sirius. This is actually underneath the turret, so he'll get a free kill. Very well done by Sad Sirius.
Yeah, and he had, did he have any vision of Akali there? She was supposed to be stealth at the moment.
I think she was in the
very,
big,
if that
the star is just so big that you can just AoE the entire smoke map.
No, but I know the ball was, you know, obviously hit, but he landed his ult as well, which is very, very nice.
Yeah. I think you do get a particle effect when it lands, so maybe he saw that, but I don't know the rules. Old School will take a hit there, backing away, as that true shot was just trying to clear wave, and it did clear enough wave. But it's really rough timing, because this bot lane for Naguara is resetting right as the Drake comes up.
Uh-oh.
Steal?
Big ball.
No steal will happen. This is crazy. I don't know why you're doing this. The Olaf will die, obviously. Yang Ji is down, with Death is coming in to try and turn this fight. 1v4, and goes down afterwards. Sad Sirius chasing down Max Green. Won't be able to finish the kill. Will flash forward to do so. Very nearly finds two. Tigers has to burn a flash to get away. As Zerf returns from the fountain, maybe they can find something more. Old School is here, but the gold card just sets him up so well. Thank you for playing, says Starting. And in a series of 1 and 2v4s, Naguara lose, I think, 4 consecutive players.
They had like a third of the health of the players that they turned on. They turned on players with like 3 times their health, and they're just like, no, we got this. I know exactly how long this yellow card lasts. By the way, yellow card buffed a couple of patches ago. That is really strong, TJ. It's really strong. I believe it's 1.25 second stun, which is massive there, as you saw. And they're able to use their abilities perfectly.
What an incredible use of this composition. You know, this is what I was talking about. Starting to just TP into these lanes from anywhere on the map and end the game. This is what a Twisted Fate is good at. Dominating the early skirmishing and lane phase. And that is what Tribe are doing. Starting absolutely cleaning up.
It's just so hard. I can't emphasize how hard it is to play this type of composition here from Tribe. They're making it look easy, but everything is just on pins and needles. They're like tightrope walking the entire time, and they're making it work. But if every single player on your team is not performing to their utmost, it falls apart. And good thing that everyone is doing their job here, because otherwise it could be trouble.
True shot will fly through as the Rift Herald spawns. And yet again, Naguara are not very well positioned for this. You know, they're rotating back in as this Rift Herald comes up. And that means that it should be an easy take for Tigers. And this is the kind of thing that separates really good organized team from groups of good players. Sad Sirius in trouble as they step up. Taunt will go wide. Monsoon keeps him safe, but Sad Sirius is down to just 1 HP and will be taken out as an afterthought by Old School. A free kill picked up right as the Rift Herald is summoned here in the mid lane.
Yeah, Old School just kind of turned, you're still alive? It's like, okay, I'll all you down. They're continuing this as well. Oh my goodness.
And this is, like I was saying, what separates a really good team from a team of really good players. Tribe Gaming are so in sync across the map, you're never looking at an objective and wondering, you know, how they're going to respond to it, whether or not they have players there. They always have vision, they always have a plan, and it looks real good.
Not this should be good for Yang here, unfortunately.
Yeah.
The true shot's not going to do much, I'm sorry, even if it landed. Either. I'm sorry. Okay, can we actually talk about the Galio support now? Because I feel like it's not, you know, Old School was in a bit of trouble in the early game because she didn't have quite the support that you normally would have from your support. It's working out, obviously, because Old School is extremely good and kind of can handle herself, but
so I've been playing.
It's been spicy. It's been dicey, I should say.
Yeah, I've been playing a ton of Galio support, and I just built him. Pure tank, right? And that works because Zenith Blade, is that the correct item? I'm blanking. Procs the AoE for your ultimate, even if... I'm just going to talk through this. He's just so dead. Procs the AoE for your ulti, no matter where you are on the map, unlike League of Legends. We're going to get like 3 more kills. So it's very easy to pop the ultimate, and Zenith Blade will give you the AoE Froststorm. Aces is going to live.
Right.
Watch this. Galio damage. No! Aces dies! The tragedy by a millisecond.
I think Yang must have popped his ult there, right? Just to get through all the CC.
Yeah.
But, anyway.
So what you can do is you can build full tank, come in with the Froststorm. The Froststorm does a decent amount of damage. And the most important asset, the thing you should be leveling as Galio, is your AoE Taunt. And if you have that, and you have it on a very short cooldown, I'm also going the Hunter rune that allows you to... Let's actually see what runes he's running. Can I see that from here? No. Aftershock and nothing else. We can't see the details. But the Hunter rune that gives you shorter cooldowns every time you get a unique takedown. And in that way, you can basically have the Galio ulti and taunt up every minute at least for a very good combo.
All right. That's Galio mechanics with TJ. More in a moment. Anyway.
Hopefully not. Hopefully we're done. He's also got Locket of the Iron Solari, which basically everyone in Southeast Asia goes Gargoyle, because Locket's shield is just so small. Max Green will be caught out here. Full engage in the meantime will go into the backlines as Zerap dies, but what a great insect from Tigers. Flies in behind Aberonin and finds the kill. This is going to be a very, very clean team fight. Gets a little dangerous as the Voice of Light shoves Tigers back underneath the turret, but he had GA, so there was no real risk. Oh, Yang.
Is Yang going to make a play here?
Oh, he absolutely is.
Yes. Oh, wait, there's the ward buster. Anyway. Oh,
Into the pit?
A little bit too early, though.
Yeah.
A little bit too early.
Unfortunate.
Starting the GA, but that's
starting
small.
Did something really cool there that you can do with Twisted Fate, where you pop the Destiny, which is the teleport, and it gives you vision. It gives you global vision, much like Max in Arena of Valor. Twisted Fate plays very similarly.
Yeah.
So you pop the ultimate, and you check the entire map. You go, oh, there's an Olaf in a bush behind us, and that changes how you play the fight.
For sure, for sure. Dude, he just flashes in. He doesn't care. It's by the monsoon. Under a turret. Doesn't matter.
We'll find the kill. May have stepped too far forward. There's no more dashes in AT's pocket, but they've got the bailout. The cask will knock him underneath the turret, and he backs away. Heroic entrance is there. With death is 1 HP. Max Green has saved the day, and with the Baron in hand, here comes the inhibitor turret tank.
I can just imagine Olaf and Gragas yelling at each other. Like, why did you push her away? I was gonna kill her.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Tigers
not that it matters.
did just go down to the Nexus turret. I just want to shout that out because it's very funny. True Shot will rip through Starting's HP, so that gets a little dangerous as Sanserius kites back. We'll jump in. 80's 1v3 exhausted. Will go down. What are you doing?
I think honestly, I think this is practice for them. They're like, there's no way we lose.
Limit testing.
20k gold. Yeah, it's like, how much can I do here? Because it actually matters, especially in games where you're behind. Say far into the future, they're playing for the Wild Rift Championship, the Wild Rift World Championship, right? And he has to make a play like 1v3. Like, what can I get away with here? So there's no way they lose this game anyway. He's like, let me see what I can do here.
Just walking up and serving him the news. Gold card! Sanserius needs to spend the barrier to survive. Janna helps him out as well. Does survive the experience, but very narrowly. Turret will fall. And this is going to be a kill, as yet another gold card is dealt. And 2 more players fall. Starting's looking for more as well. Yang stunned up. Will burn the ulti. Already dead. Backline. Sanserius drops into stasis, and people are just bathing in the light of his stars right now, as he does not do enough damage to scare off Triumph Gaming. And with a TP into the base, Starting, we'll end game number 2. It's going to be 2-0. Tribe Gaming still undefeated without dropping a single game throughout our bracket.
Yeah, and that's against a team in Naguara that was 4-1 coming into this match. So, yet more impressive stuff from Tribe Gaming here. They are now 6-0, and they've defeated, arguably the second strongest team in the tournament if you just go by record.
Yeah, an incredibly good performance in this tournament so far. I'll flip things
I
over.
do want to point out though that last game, it probably looked worse than it actually was, just because Tribe specifically picked champions that really snowball, especially if you have a gold lead, because they're able to just pull off such garbage, and I mean that in a good way. There's just disgusting stuff. If you just combine, like all 4 of them, other than the support, even the support's able to, get kills. But you talk about, 80s just jumping in back, Akali doing, filthy stuff, and teleporting all over the map from the Twisted Fate. Kaisa obviously can just pick up pentakills whenever she wants, and then Lee Sin is like the poster boy for just being annoying and making plays. So it's just, once you combine all those 4, there's nothing really that you can do if you're on Naguara, because you look at a member and all of a sudden they're all there and killing you.
Yeah, which did kind of feel like the story of the game. Let's take a look at the bracket. They are being updated live. We will fly things over to round number 3, where we're currently at. We did just, of course, watch Tribe Gaming 2-0 Naguara, so we don't have that quite updated yet, but it'll be there in a moment. The other results as they go: Team Divine took KND to a map 3. I believe there is a chance that we slide in and catch game 3 of that, so we'll keep you updated there. The other series currently ongoing, Just for Fun took down Team Snow, who are struggling in the standings so far, yet to win a game.
Not a single game. Yeah.
And Team Gut Corky 2-0'd Shogunate, who did beat Team Snow, but have struggled ever since. So, those are your standings as they are currently. We are going to close out round 4 here tonight as well. We're going to keep on broadcasting the games over the coming weeks, so be sure to follow and subscribe to the channels. I don't know, subscribe means like donate money on Twitch, which, to be clear, is not what I'm asking you to do. Although,
that's true. Yeah.
You kind of messed up.
You could.
I could. Be sure to pay me money. We're going to go to a quick break. When we return, it will be our next game of the evening. That may be us hopping in on game 3 of that round 3 match between KND and Team Divine. That may be us instead sliding over to our round 4 match. It'll all be determined depending on how long it takes. For now, though, congratulations to Tribe Gaming as they take a 2-0 victory in our first game of the evening.
tell me something new? You waited for someone to save you and left me all alone. I wanna tell you something new. You drove us both into a wall, but the only hurt was me. It's the longest night of my life, and the longest goodbye I've cried. I drive away into the night, and I contemplate for a while. When you love someone, you just can't stop. Spin the wheels until they drop. Don't you wish I would have been someone else? I wanna fill your gap without making a mess. And you tell me something new. You wait for someone to save you and left me all alone. I wanna tell you something new. You drove us both into a wall, but the only hurt was me. The most humble possible way, and the strongest way I can say, I wish you all the best I can. Then I stop myself for a while. I'm saying things I don't believe. The facts rising up in me. You tell me something new. You wait for someone to save
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are going real fast. Here's me on screen. Hi, that's my face, but more importantly, here's the game. What's up, Daniel? That was my throw to you. You were supposed to have something smart ready to go.
Oh, I didn't recognize that as a throw. Sorry.
That's understandable, to be honest.
I was trying to find the room so I can maybe ask.
Yeah, I don't think we got a peek at the bans here. Yeah, which is unfortunate. So I cannot tell you what those bans were, but I can tell you what the picks are so far. Kaiser Rakan with a Camille going through. Oh, I don't know the team names right either. This is going to be awful. Galio, Seraphine,
I believe the left side
on the opposite side.
I believe the left side is Team Gut Corky or TGC, and then the right side is KND, which is Kids Next Door. These acronyms, man. These acronyms. I was gonna say, by the way, maybe would it be funny, or it might be funny if we just like made up the bands, and then if they accidentally pick, or not accidentally, if they pick one of the people that we claimed were banned, that would be kind of funny. Because it's actually it's difficult, right? Because you have to pick someone who's like meta, but if they somehow get through the ban phase, then they would not be picked. It's kind of a hard needle to thread there. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting caught up in my own stupid theory.
Are you like a little tired? Are you like a little tipsy or something? What's going on here, Daniel?
A little bit. Anyway, we do actually have the band to us. Evelyn, Fiora, interesting. Corky, and Alistair.
Very good. And that explains why we do get a Rakan pick here, as a lot of the supports are taken away. And Gallia, which would be played as that like extra support, is here. It is interesting how much these teams hate Leona, because I think Leona's quite good. But we have not seen any Leona in competitive across any region, or at least I have not. So I'm quite curious about that.
Maybe...
That's not a good... I don't like that. I don't know what that means. It started swirling. It is still swirling. We're going to find out what that means. In the meantime, I think I like Rakan, Camille, Assault. Like, there's a lot of mobility built into that. But they don't have any frontline at all over on Team God Corky. There is no HP.
Right, and you've seen that in the past be a problem unless you really have supreme communication and skill, like we saw earlier with Tribe. As far as Leona's concerned, she is a bit newer. She's only been around for a month, or maybe even less. And that could be an issue, right? Because with support, it's not just the player getting used to the support, it's the teammates that have to get used to playing with that support. So, you know, as long as that support isn't completely busted out the gate like Lulu was, for instance, then it can take a while, especially if, you know, there's supports that are already serviceable like Alistair and Braum and whatnot. But,
okay, I have worked out what just happened. We did have you just saw my Google account from my burner account, which is Big Game esportsTj or something. It's very cool.
I was wondering what that said.
It's like Big Game, Big Esports, Big Win or something. Anyway, we did just sort out what happened. The lobby crashed for whatever reason, and so everyone needs to relog and get back in. So it's going to take us a little bit longer, but the draft will be the same. And that is...
Do you remember the draft? I don't. Do you remember the draft? Because I can't remember anything right now. So
brain in one side, brain out the other.
Rakan.
Rakan... God, this is going to be really good, if I can get it right. Team Got Corky went Rakan, Camille, A-Soul. No, I've got it. Rakan, Camille, A-Soul.
No, your name, Big Gamer, Big Esports, Big Win.
At gmail.com. Send me an email. I dare you.
You know, I was leaving that to you whether you wanted to say where that was at. Although it's like, at this point, you kind of assume it's Gmail. Anyway.
It would be funnier if it was at like yahoo.com or something.
You know what's really funny? It's that like yahoo.co.jp is still like the biggest Japanese site.
Well, Yahoo Japan is a completely different company from Yahoo. Yahoo Japan just licenses the name from Yahoo, and they're like a way more successful company. So I find that very funny.
But it's funny how it's like had the exact opposite effect now. It's like, why are they still on Yahoo?
Yeah, now they make Yahoo look good. Yeah. All right.
So yeah, it was like Rakan, Asol, and then I don't remember the rest.
I think
You
we're
said they
going
were
to be good to go.
flimsy, so
Yeah, they didn't
you
have
said they
any
were flimsy,
tanks.
so
That was my big takeaway. Why are we still talking about the draft? We don't remember, Daniel. This is bad. Okay, I think we're good to go. We're resetting the lobby as we speak. And we should be back into it momentarily. So, we can have my favorite time of day, Daniel. And that's, we
What's your
gotta
favorite time of
fill
day?
like 2 minutes time of day. What's going on with you in your life?
I don't want to talk about my life on stream. Sorry.
All right.
Let's change the subject.
That's been our 2-minute
We can talk about
conversation.
champions.
There's gonna be no
It wasn't
more.
2
There's
minutes,
gonna
but
be
okay.
no more filling of these 2 minutes. I can tell you when I'm eating. I'm having a great. I ate all the tofu already, but I'm having a great little dish with like a really fun curry sauce on top, and then I've got like steamed broccoli and some tofu.
What is a fun curry sauce?
The opposite of
what
a
that means.
boring curry sauce.
I don't think I've ever had a boring curry sauce. I've had bad and good.
Oh yeah. Well, it sucks that you've never had the experience of a fun curry sauce.
Well, okay, fine. Well, I don't know, man. Go ahead. I would elaborate. But that's
He
okay.
eats food and he's like, God, I'm so bored right now. That's Daniel eating food.
Exactly.
We do have the
No.
lobby back together.
I said I
so we
don't
should
get
start
bored.
things. He eats food and he's like, God, I'm so fascinated right now.
That happens quite often.
Then what do you mean? You've already had a fun curry sauce. This is the experience I'm describing, Daniel.
Okay, fascinating and fun are two different things, TJ.
Okay.
Come on. I mean, I've been fascinated by food. I haven't had something that's. Well, I've had fun food, I guess, but not fun curry. Curry is just sauce. It doesn't. It's not like you can't like shape the curry into like a smiley face, right? So
yes, you
therefore,
can. You absolutely could.
it will
You could
fall
do
apart
like
in
the old pancake
seconds.
thing that they did with the whipped cream, where you made the happy face. If you've ever been to like a diner,
Do you have gelatinous curry? Like, what is going on here?
you could
What is your curry?
100% do that. If you get like, because if you
By the way, guys, this is what we sound like when we talk off stream. These are
terrible.
the exact conversations we have. If you're wondering what goes on behind the scenes.
When we were in Vietnam broadcasting Arena of Valor, like literally it was just 24/7 that exact conversation. We were just having the stupidest arguments.
Oh, I remember.
I don't know.
I remember when we went to this place, this like food court place in Vietnam, and we looked at this thing.
Was it the tourist trap? Where I was like, this is going to be a tourist trap. It's going to be awful. And then we went in and it was awful.
No. The issue was like we didn't know. Uh-oh, we're having an issue again.
Oh,
Maybe.
no. Because I remember a wonderful beachside restaurant that I took one look at and said, this is a wonderful beachside restaurant where all the signage is in English. This food is going to be awful and catered towards tourists. And I remember you doubting me.
I was just tired of walking.
I remember
I was just tired of walking.
The food that they made.
Oh, well, you're just picky. Anyway, well, I'm referring to something else. I'm referring to when we went to this food court, or this like place in the food court of a mall that we had time to go to, and we were wondering if this like Vietnamese pancake dish was vegetarian okay, and we got it, and we got like you got like a big one. It was like massive, and it turns out no, it was the complete opposite of vegetarian okay. It was just like full of meat, and then you're just like nope, and you left it there. It was pretty funny.
One of the upsides of being vegetarian is you get to give your friends meals a lot. You get to be like,
yeah, but my
hey,
problem
this is
was
for
I had
you
a lot of I mistakenly ordered a lot too, so I was like I cannot eat all this crap.
Didn't you end up? Didn't you just take some of it back to the hotel? Didn't you just end up with more?
No, I just
Always
left
good.
it there and I felt bad about it.
Okay, food waste. All right, Daniel, I see how it is. We did the game glitch again, so they're going to be trying it with a different host. I don't know. League of Legends Wild Rift says no.
We
That'll
will
be all
not
the
switch it this game
esports today. I gotta log back into big games, big win, big esports at gmail.com. So I'm a little distracted right now. My Japan account, I don't know if you ever played with it, but my Japan account was called Anderson Cooper. And
Yeah, I did play with it.
was trying really hard to get Anderson Cooper games on YouTube or something and just upload videos there because I thought that would be really funny. But then I realized I cannot do an Anderson Cooper impersonation to save my life.
You know what's really funny is that one of the guys who frequents both our chats, Orange, he made an account called Wyatt Emery Cooper, and I was like, "Who is that?" Apparently, Anderson Cooper's father? Question mark. And then, so yeah, when I was playing with Orange, that was his account.
My favorite thing about Anderson Cooper, and I have a lot of things I like about Anderson Cooper, but my favorite thing about Anderson Cooper is that he's like the son of the Vanderbilt family. So he's just mad stacked. He's like a multi-millionaire and was born into that wealth and then was like, you know what I'm going to do? Journalism. And like,
I mean,
joined the CIA, went to CNN afterwards. He's crazy.
I mean, that seems to be the thing for people who are born in that kind of family. It's
Tucker Carlson's that as well, isn't he?
Tucker Carlson fell butt backwards. I don't know if we're allowed to swear into his role.
But like, he was also born very wealthy. He was also born very
no, seriously, they like no one else to host this television show. Like, you guy over there, you want to host this TV show? He's like, sure.
Hey,
and to be fair, he did really good job, so that's why he kept rising up the ranks. But it's just it's like, hey, you guy over there.
That's how I did Arena of Valor. That's how I got started doing that. So it all checks out. All right, this lobby is continuing to be broken, so I'm gonna throw up the graphics bracket while I sort it out. I don't know. Talk about the bracket, Daniel.
All right. Well, there's the bracket for you. We didn't actually get. Do you know our round 2 match? No, yeah, it was a joke. Do you know our round 2 match between Shogun and Team Divine?
No, I do not know what happened there. I don't know. That match didn't happen. Nobody won. Everyone went home. Those are my theories in that order.
Round 3, Team Divine versus KND. Divine won 2-1. I think you haven't refreshed, but that is the result there. So yeah, and if you scroll down a little bit, you can actually see who is winning. Although the standings are kind of inaccurate because it doesn't show who has a certain amount of points.
Here, let's do that. Hold up, I can do this. Oh, but I need to accept this invite. All right, we are getting the lobby sorted back again. All right. Check out this technology. This is something that my broadcasting software added really recently, and it still just psychs me every time. Oh, I can't do it! I can't! It's not working! Alright, well, I'm supposed to be able to scroll through this screen, but for legal reasons, there will be no scrolling today. Thank you very much for viewing the broadcast.
That reminds me of the time when I was going over my old tier list, or at the time, new tier list, but I would scroll down and it would just be, inappropriate ads that would show up. I'm like, why do I get these ads? And then
on your website, dtwoaov.com, have lewd advertising? It's very funny.
I mean, it wasn't because of the site. It was because of
it was 100% because of the site, because of your content. I read your filthy tier lists.
I wonder if I've ever actually made it. No, I took my tier list way too seriously to make weird jokes like that. I guess that sometimes I did, just to crap on people, like just to get mad at people who had the wrong opinions. It's like I remember it was like Maganga. It's like Maganga is good if you're bad.
I remember your rivalry with who is the other guy that made tier lists?
Hold on, he's
the Thailand YouTuber. There was one YouTuber from Thailand that Daniel just had a ferocious rivalry with. It was all in his own head. I'm 100% sure that guy didn't know he existed.
Yeah, no, he didn't know I existed, but it was definitely, people talked about it on Reddit a lot, among like the 20 people on the AOV Reddit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was because he had like a new tier list like every week, and he just like, this seems good, this seems bad, this hero is amazing, and I would just like, you know, put like thought into it, do it every like 1 to 2 months, just you know, have a concrete idea of each hero. Anyway, it's fine. We both served our purposes.
Thank you for listening to an emergency episode of the Tower Dive podcast. We are now into game.
All right. Well, now we actually do have our draft in order here.
I was right. It was just the Lee Sin. That was the only thing I couldn't remember.
Yep. It is a very solid draft, though. Other than being a little bit flimsy, like you mentioned, there's a lot of flexibility here on the side of TGC. Oh, this lover's quarrel. I didn't realize. That's what people were talking about in chat. We have Rakan on one side and Zaya on the other. Oh no, what are we going to do, TJ?
I think the Galio Zaya lane is stronger, so that's, you know, where I'm at. I think Zaya's a hashtag girl boss for this lane. And Galio will just be able to bully that forward. The range advantage Zaya has gives her the edge in the 1v1 during lane phase. Kai'Sa is a little more effective during team fights. That's how my tier list would read. TJ, LeagueOfLegends.com.
LeagueOfLegends.com.
It's very long.
If Soturing can kind of get in on them a little bit, although, you know, like you say, they can't really get too close for obvious reasons, one of them being at half health. I'm actually curious to see how Playmaker's going to play, because he did kind of give away his life a little bit too much yesterday.
Oh, Krampus for the steal attempt. Sparkle receiving it. Steal successful. X-Slide there, just zoning people back. Tri-feed will find a double root, though. This is a good engage, and they have the follow-through. X-Slide, barely live, will go down. Chase onto Krampus, he's knocked up. Atlas finds him with the heroic charge, and they will complete the kill. The buff has been transferred, and the kills have been secured. 2 kills go over, 1 in response. The support goes down for KND, but Team Gut Corki lose much more.
Yeah, you don't typically see a lot of mid-Seraphine amongst pro teams, but that was extremely useful to say the least. They're getting the double roots, saving that ability. Obviously, her passive allows her to empower one of her abilities every once in a while.
Oh,
that was huge there.
The combo! X-Sly is just dead. There's nothing that can be done about it. Yeah, you were talking about that. I don't think support. I think mid-Seraphine is where Seraphine should be played. I think support Seraphine is just worse than other enchanters. Still good, still has utility, but just draft different enchanters if you're going to run support Seraphine. Whereas mid-Seraphine has a wild amount of sustained teamfight damage, and their only real weakness is their lack of mobility. Zello's in trouble
and the
here.
fact that they have
Hextech Ultimatum will be deployed. Monarch trying to flash away, will go down, but Sparkle will instantly find the trade.
Yeah, very good rotation here from the Vine. The nice thing here is sometimes when you have the Seraphine, you don't really have enough damage if you're playing her in mid, but because they have the Galio as well, they kind of have like 2 tweeners, right? They have 2 combo support mids here, and that's going to help their damage and give them a decent amount of that support as well.
And you also have the problem I was highlighting during the draft, which is Team Gut Corki go into a team fight and they have to deal with Atlas. And so during the early phase of the team fight, as we saw in that river skirmish, all of their damage gets dumped into Atlas, who's the support, who can take that damage, who will walk away afterwards. They don't have an equivalent frontliner. Team Gut Corki do not have anyone who can take that kind of punishment.
Sly. Oh, misses. Okay. In any case. Okay, I'm going to shut up for now because we do have a team fight brewing at the moment onto the Drake.
Yeah, Drake set up for Zello and Playmaker nearby. Sparkle will go in. Drake is secured by Team God Corky. Heroic entrance over the top keeps Sparkle alive. But Shoju, Killer Instinct into the backlines. They find a kill and they disengage. Oh, what a good ultimate from the Seraphine, but the Encore only finds Playmaker, and as a result, now they're open to punishment. The deep dive into the backlines will find value from Krampus. A double kill, a triple kill from Krampus, and they have everything they need. Team God Corky take the Drake and the team fight afterwards.
Incredible patience here from Team Corky. They really flitted in and out of the fights, just kind of absorbing everything that KND had to throw at them. And you saw at the very end there, they waited. They were about to back off. They were actually fine with backing up. But the instant that they saw cooldowns go off from the from Trifeed, for instance, seeing that ult come out as well, they realized that they had an opportunity to go back in once the cooldowns were down. And they knew that their opponents were defenseless and took advantage.
Atlas in trouble here. We'll go over the wall. In the meantime, Wi-Fi is getting kind of nailed down here. Oh, does root Krampus with the Blade Cooler. Atlas with the double taunt, looking for a disengage. Can't do it.
One thing I want to kind of emphasize a point I made because I'm a bit narcissistic like that. Yeah, there it is. I think one thing that a lot of amateur players who play on ladder don't realize, they look at health. I mean, obviously they can see the health, right? The second thing they realize, they can see sometimes they realize, people have mana or don't have mana, so they can't fight. But a lot of times, what players won't realize is the cooldowns, right? And cooldowns can be the most important thing in a fight. If someone, if one team has no health but all the cooldowns, and the other team is the opposite, right? You can see the team with no health just winning everything because they could just chain together abilities, and the other team is dead before you can blink.
Turret will fall. Rift Herald picked up by Sparkle. No other action happens. Bot side. Monarch's going to get full comboed, but hey, D2. Zello didn't have enough cooldowns to finish that fight.
Exactly. The reason why they're low is because he expended all those cooldowns. One thing I want to say is that we see TGC getting a pretty big gold lead, but they had already evened up the gold lead before that previous fight without even getting a kill.
Oh. Zello, Hextech ultimation underneath the turret to iframe the turret shot. Really cool stuff.
Nice. But yeah, TGC just in general, other than winning that last team fight, they've done, Verlin's getting away. They've done a really good job of just farming in general, because they were able to even up the gold despite not having anything happen on the map of consequence. They were still down 4-2, and they caught up in gold before that Drake team fight. And that is a huge deal. That just shows to me that they just have the overall advantage in this entire series because they're able to farm gold more efficiently.
Very much something to pay attention to as Team God Corky's lead has grown here. They got Drakes, they got turrets. There is still the Rift Herald sitting in the pocket of Sparkle, so maybe KND will be able to deploy that effectively and even things up.
At that moment, no, neither team really trying to make
He's
it.
on a ward.
Playmaker standing
This man
on a
is
ward.
just...
Yeah. Playmaker, come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Think it's oh no. Oh no.
You've got to feel
I'm
so stupid at that moment.
Well, I mean, it wasn't completely useless that he was sitting there, right? At least he was kind of warding them off.
He was a
No
scarecrow is what he just was.
Exactly.
Sparkle roaming around the backside. This is vision control and indeed map control around the Drake as it is summoned. Normally this is where you would see Sparkle drop the Rift Herald in mid lane because you want to drag the God Corky members away from this Rift Herald or this Drake. But they don't manage to do it.
In position to do that.
Yeah.
It's just, again, this just goes back to like the gold thing, right? It's all related, right? KND. Oh,
what a good taunt there from Atlas. You know, I keep talking up the efficacy of Galio's support. That's a big reason why the kit is just so good against Assassin Dive.
Yeah, I mean, I could continue to harp on this point, but it's really what's causing KND to fall behind, right? I feel like their micro is fine. Their team fighting, just their ability to use their abilities is fine. The problem is that they're not setting up for fights, right, properly. And you see now Atlas is by himself once more. He's about to get ganked by 4 members. And this just keeps happening to them, right? They didn't set up with the Rift Herald earlier, and yeah, they're in trouble.
Toward burned.
Just jukes to the left.
Oh, good flash. But the resonating strike will close the deal.
That
It
was
is
just really
another.
funny because they try to get.
It is another Rod of Ages start, but they're going some kind of magic defense second. I think this is a Zenith blade. So very cool to see. I don't agree with the Rod of Ages start. I don't think it works for Galio support. I want it to. That's how I played Galio support in League PC for a very long time. But I don't think it works, and I don't think Galio support needs the damage.
Yeah, Galio is very new, so I can't really offer my own opinions on that, on what his build should be.
Is there a little clock here? No, it doesn't. Okay, I thought the clock was ticking, and I'd never noticed that before. Wouldn't it be really cool? Wouldn't it be really cool if this clock ticked up to when the Drake spawned or something?
It might. Maybe just going too slow to notice.
Maybe. Rift Herald does get summoned. Congratulations to the Rift Herald. Goodbye to the Rift Herald. Sly will come in, and now this is going to get punished. Nobody tagged by the Encore. And already your front line's dead. The backline dive will pay off. Sparkle barely survives and will be chased down. Sly with a double. Sly looking for 3. Try feed very, very low. Will go down. Double kill also in the midst of this fight to Shoju, who indeed completes a triple kill to close things out, as it is a complete team wipe and an instant turn onto the Baron from Team God Corki.
The only thing I can say about that fight, TJ, is that it seemed like there was no damage coming out from KND, right? And I think this goes down to the Seraphine pick as well. It's just not, I mean, the Xayah doesn't seem like she was doing much damage either. We talked about the flimsy side of TGC, and yet their health bars were just fine that entire fight. They were just in the fight. They were just sitting there, just bathing in the damage, and it didn't really matter. I'm really curious because they weren't that far ahead in gold, right? And so KND, I don't know, they're just lacking in damage. What do you think about that?
I mean, they're now several thousand ahead in gold. At this point, the game is pretty much over.
Well, they were at the time.
But I agree,
At the time, though, they were, yeah.
I mean, it was a very sloppy fight. Atlas didn't get to use their kit at all. Isn't going to this time either. Heroic Entrance needs to be spent defensively. But, Galio's support wants to be able to use their entire kit in a fight. And when... Oh, dear. Wi-Fi barely surviving. When the Galio just goes down without needing to spend any abilities, that just ends things. Krampus, full combos Monarch against the wall, playing some Tekken. Shoju, in the meantime, is training positively against Sparkle and Atlas. And as Krampus comes through for an instantaneous, simultaneous double kill, this will be game number 1. Wi-Fi gone as well. Turret 2 fall, and 1-0 to Team God Corki.
That game just snowballed very quickly. I don't even know really how that happened. It was... I mean, we started with the early wins there from KND, and then from then on, it was just one-sided the entire way.
I want to highlight the just incredible engage time and time again from Zello and Krampus. Because my big criticism for this team was that they didn't have a lot of frontline. Now, that's not actually a problem. You can get by just fine without a lot of tank. You can survive just fine if you have a ton of CC in the frontline. And this team doesn't actually have too much of that. They don't actually have too many stuns. They have the Hackstack Ultimatum and they have the kick from Krampus. And somehow they made that work. Between that and the bigger AoE stuns from Sly and Playmaker, they were always able to not only lock down targets for the first couple of seconds of the fight, but then follow that up with a burst of damage strong enough to win them the fight during those moments where they had the CC advantage, before the fact that the other team had a tank could add up against them.
Right. I think that's your last point there. You subtly said it. Before the other team had a chance to right? And it's just the speed, the absolute speed. Can you go back to the damage, by the way?
Sure.
The other point I
We were
wanted
just
to make was
looking at it for
Xayah.
6 minutes, but all right, go ahead.
Yeah, well, you didn't reference anything though. So, okay, the one thing I did want to say is Xayah had like 0 damage, right? And that just goes to show that the team really wasn't together. She was always fighting for her life, and part of that is the absolute speed, which I was referring to earlier, the speed of TGC, right? They just get on top of someone, and there's no time to even. You have to really act as a team to CC them down, to hold them down and kill them. Otherwise, they're going to flit in and out of the fights. They can't really get one sort of kill. I think the mistake I made earlier of thinking that TGC wasn't taking damage. They were taking damage like incrementally on one champion at a time, right? And so it didn't look like that much damage, but it was like just spread out so thinly across them that it was just like everyone was still at 80%. But they just couldn't hold on one champion. And when you have, the high skill here from TGC, allowing them to just bully one person at a time and just, focus fire the kills, just one kill at a time, and then, eventually kill the rest of the team, that makes it very difficult for the other team if they're not playing as a team. And I think that was the biggest issue here for KND. They just weren't playing as a team. They needed to be on top of comms. Every single time TGC comes in, they need to lock that person down to prevent them from kind of dancing around them.
And I do want to highlight that was a very quick game, 13 minutes or so. But KND were winning part of it. Like, here's the gold graph to prove it. Here's the XP graph to prove it. KND had control of the game for this early period. And then that mid lane team fight around the Rift Herald just kind of ended the game.
Go back to gold again. Can you go back to gold again? Okay, so look at this. KND was up 3-1 and then I believe 4-2 in kills. Right? And they never had a substantial gold lead. And look at where the dragon is taking him. The gold was exactly even when they started fighting over the dragon. And that they had a 2-kill lead. Nothing else had happened. And there wasn't any there was that one steal on the blue, but that was it. Other than that, nothing happened that benefited either team. And yet TGC managed to even up the gold just by being more efficient.
All right, the players are waiting for us, Daniel. We've taken too long. They're ready to go, and we are still breaking down their last game. So we will go to a lightning fast break. It sounds like they're already headed towards the bans, so we can get into that game number 2 in just a few moments. Thank you so much for watching so far. We'll be right back after this.
Drove us both into a wall, but the only hurt was me. It's the longest night of my life, and the longest goodbye I've cried. I cried away into the night, and I contemplate for a while. When you love someone, you just can't stop. You spin the wheels until they drop. Don't you wish I would have been someone else? I wanna feel your death without making a mess of you. Won't you tell me something new? You wait for someone to save you and left me all alone. I wanna tell you something new. You drove us both into a wall, but the only hurt was me. The most humble possible way, and the strongest way I can say, I wish you all the best I can. Then I stop myself for a while. I'm saying things I don't believe. The panics rising up in me. You won't
It's time for Game 2 in Match 2 of our evening. Team Gut Corky still taking on KND. My name's still TJ still. D2 sitting next to me. Glowing, radiant. What do we...
Versatile.
Okay, we have 2 green screens. What do we put behind us next time?
Is there a way to make it so like one message comes from my screen and goes slowly over to your screen? And
I mean, like... Hang on. Alright,
I don't know. Like,
say something smart for like 30 seconds.
well, I could say the words "actual" something smart, and then but that I don't know if that would suffice or not.
No.
No, it doesn't.
So we could do like this, where we're like sitting next to each other.
What are you doing? Stop invading my personal space. Oh no, I need to go this way. Oh goodness. Oh, goodness.
Like that's an option here. I don't know.
Oh, no.
That's all I got.
You're so big too. I just can't. By the way, I mean, okay, you guys have probably seen us stand next to each other like at
This is just
the
realistic,
AWC.
yeah.
But TJ is a very tall person.
This is just
For those of you in the
actually...
chat.
And people don't know that because I'm always broadcasting online. So you don't actually see the relative heights of people. But this is pretty realistic right now.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because a lot of streamers' heights aren't even close to what people perceive them to be when they stream. I think the biggest one was Rayned from Hearthstone, and some other stuff. Now he's the owner of Temple Storm, but he looks like he's 5'5" or so when he's streaming, and he's like 6'4". It's insane.
Well,
when you meet him in person.
the big thing I always get is people say, "Wow, TJ, your voice doesn't fit your face." And that's something that's true. I do look very young. But if you see me in person, then you're like, oh, he's got long lungs. There's like a lot there. You know, that works out. Anyway, Game 2, baby! That's the summary. That's the important part. As Team Gut Corky did take Game 1 in dominant fashion and now are heading towards a 2-0, which would, of course, earn them many more points than a 2-1. So it does make a pretty big difference. First pick, Corky.
Have we ever seen Team Gut Corky pick Corky?
No, this is a first.
No. They aren't picking it. This is KND picking Corky.
Oh, you're right.
They always give it away. This is like the third time they've given away Corky, and their name is Team Gut Corky.
I don't know. Maybe they want to gut Corky as in make it less powerful.
Well, yeah, but you'd think if they thought it was that powerful, they'd pick it themselves. Or ban
Yeah,
it.
fair point. The bans were Fiora, Galio, Alistair, and Ezreal. So we can pay attention to what we're sitting at. Kai'Sa, Camille, Rakan, a Soul, bit of a run back from Team Gut Corky. You know what? This A Soul is fine. I think you could run Twisted Fate instead, though, and it would be even better.
I don't think you should be criticizing what Sly is saying if we're going off of Trovo chat. Because in the Trovo chat...
Sorry, am I going to get murdered by Sly fans? I
the
think...
Sly sins.
Alright, I think Sly is doing great, and they're wonderful, and I love them. However, just a suggestion, Twisted Fate would give them a little bit more mobility on the map. You know, a little bit more.
You've done it this
Aurelion
time.
Soul already fits into the same kind of character category, and Twisted Fate, I think, is just better at doing those things. But doesn't have the AoE CC, doesn't have the AoE stunts.
I think if we're following the themes of the Trovo chat, I think they'd say something along the lines of Sly is so good at Aurelion Soul that he can use Twisted Fate's abilities as Aurelion Soul, or something like that.
I like it.
Anyway, or vice versa.
Opposite side, it will be Corky, Braum, Misfortune, Evelyn, and Jax, which means we have the rare, never-seen Corky mid here today, Daniel. I'm not sure how you feel about that.
I also get my wish of seeing Evelyn jungle and see what it's all hyped up to be. Although, considering the last game, I don't think they're going to win anyway, even though this oft-banned champion is getting played.
I have faith. I mean, there are a lot of Arena of Valor veterans over on KND. Like, this is a team that is very mechanically skilled. I want to see what they bring to the table as we head into game number 2 of this best-of-3 series.
Oh, invade. Here we go.
I don't know if it's an invade, but it sure was a lot of people arriving very suddenly onto our screen.
Yeah, with the fog of war on, that was much more scary than it should have been. In any case, this is basically the same. Is it the exact same comp as last game?
Yep. Complete
From-
run back from
Okay,
Team
so-
Corky.
Right. So for KND, they're gonna have to just hold down the members of TGC much better.
Oh, he's going to
And
do it.
TGC.
No.
TGC is basically challenging them. TGC is basically challenging them to say that, you know, he didn't do it last time. Let's see if he can do it this time. And it really has more to do with their playing rather than the champions, in my opinion, right? Because they had the ability within their players' kits, within their champions' kits, in order to hold them down, but they just didn't, right? And they didn't rotate in time. They didn't do a lot of things in time. So KND, we're gonna see improvement in that regard.
For the Evelyn, she's not going to be super active on the map for the first couple of moments. You're going to see her just need to power farm up to level 5 before she can really achieve much. But...
And they're invading, though.
Yeah, and this doesn't play to her strengths, to be clear. But when she hits level 5, she's going to be a terror against these squishy backline characters. If Sparkle can gain access to the Kai'Sa, to the Rakan, you know, that's very important.
This is already a better game from KND than anything we saw in game number 1. Because they're being decisive, they're being proactive. They saw that Lee Sin was trying to, you know, kind of sort of invade earlier. That meant he was way behind in his jungle farming. And they made a decision as 4 to go in and take that.
Monarch should die here. Zello's been playing this lane so well. But here come Trifeed and Atlas. We'll see if they can get anything back.
Make it.
Doesn't look like it. Valkyrian will drop Zello down fairly low, but that's going to be all.
Yeah, so despite the early game improvements here from KND, they're still down, you know, 1,000 gold heading into the dragon that's going to come up in level 12 time. So still looking at it to be in TGC's favor, which is not a good sign if you're a KND.
Yeah, a little bit of a disappointing sign, I think, across the board for KND. They've underperformed out of their early game despite a good start in their jungle. And because of the roam that we just saw Sparkle go on, Wi-Fi has kind of been bullied here in the bottom lane, as well as Monarch losing in the top side.
Yeah, I was wondering if Soju Rain was going to go back. I think they're trying to time it for the dragon a little bit better. If they go back now, it's a little bit too early. They want to get as much items as... Oh, hello.
Atlas,
Goodbye.
where are you at? Like, what are we doing, Atlas? I don't want to flame a specific player. But what are we...
feel like when you're full health, yeah, when you're full health and your ADC dies, and you're like, oh, hi, my bad, sorry. Don't be mad at me.
And Monarch is just really struggling in this 1v1. Zello's playing this so well.
Oh,
There's the
yeah.
Hextech ultimatum. 2 kills in lane over to Zello.
I'm kind of curious as to what the reasoning behind the Jax pick was in the first place. He's not meta pick by any means, especially in the pro scene, so they had to have a reason. Perhaps he did have a good reason, but it was
Jax
preempted
scales very
by...
well. I think people
Right.
underestimate how well Jax scales into late game. Also does pretty well into Kai'Sa just because you can deny the stacks very effectively.
Right.
Oof.
Oh, that's a missed ult. Oof.
Oh.
Yeah, and that this could be a credit to TGC as well, right? They know that Jax scales well, so they made sure to cut him down and to put Krampus in that top lane to get the gank early. So that could be a credit to TGC as well here. Oh, goodness.
Hold on the front lines. Atlas eating a lot of damage. Try feed through with the Valkyrie. Package dropped. Zello hit by it. Playmaker very low. Needs the honey fruit. That'll be all we get out of the early exchanges, though, as Zello does need to burn flash. Playmaker dives back in, and they find a kill. Bullet time doesn't do enough damage, but Wi-Fi finds the turn. Zello on the dive yet again. Will be onto the backlines. Try-feed and finding the kill. It'll need to be an ult burn defensively from Sparkle, and even that won't save them, as a brilliant zoning star from X-Slide denies Wi-Fi even the chance to refrag that kill. Shoju will survive on no HP whatsoever, and kite towards the Drake as Wi-Fi just cannot step up to these fights.
I just saw Soju just jump over to the Drake. Like, please don't, no one touch it, please. And I think you saw for a moment Playmaker walking towards it. Anyway, Playmaker had a really nice knock up the second time. The first time around, it was very nice as well, but his team wasn't with him. I think they need a slightly better communication from TGC because Playmaker is usually ahead of the team when it comes to these knockups. And I think either coming from him or the rest of the team where they need to be with him whenever he gets those knockups because it could have been a wipe from the start.
Monarch did have an opportunity to get a little bit back here. He's been left alone in lane, so he's recovering a little bit in gold, but he's still 1,000 gold behind Zello. 1,000 gold behind.
It's really hard for anyone to kill anyone when they're 1,000 gold behind, let alone someone who's matching you in their lane, right? Like if it's a complete role difference, right? Some sort of fighter versus an ADC. It could be something that could be manageable, but not in this case.
I just found out, I was like, can we zoom out anymore? I'm like, kinda. There's like a little bit extra. Anyway, Drake is up here.
What?
There was like, we could go all the way out to here. Check that out. Drake is up.
Okay.
Sparkle will be going for this fight. Sly still finding very good stuns.
Wow.
Oh, Drake secure. Bullet time into the middle of this fight could cause trouble, but Grumpus still at decent amount of HP. Flash needs to be burned by Wi-Fi just to survive. Monarch will go in, taking the 1v1. Now turns into a 1v3 as the rest of the team is on the ball. And poor Monarch now 0 for 3. As another team fight, and Drake will go over to Team Got Corky. Their turn towards the Rift Herald.
I want to shout out Zello in that team fight. Right as the Drake was getting extremely low, Zello jumps in front, pops the headset ult to prevent Sparkle from getting even close, to prevent her from even having the opportunity to smite it. And that just made the smite battle a done deal there. Really well done by Zello. Perfect timing on that ultimate.
Yeah. And X-Sly, we talked a little bit about it during the last game. There's a very lightweight composition over on Team Gun Corky, so the question is, what are they doing that is enabling them to survive without having a tank? He's dead now. Anyway, the thing that I was really talking about X-Sly was he's doing a really good job at playing defense with his Starforger, with his big AoE stuns. I'm going to double check that that's actually what the ability is called.
Celestial Expansion?
Star Surge. That's it. Is the Star Surge that's really making the difference in these fights is he's just able to AoE stun entire groups of people, and that's zoning people off in a way that I didn't expect. Like, that's what the A-Soul is bringing, and I apologize for suggesting he should have tried Twisted Fate, because he's getting so much more work done thanks to the AoE.
Yeah, I kind of think that the ASOL was definitely the pick here because the TGC is standing up to KND as a team on the front line and just applying the damage. And instead of having an actual...
Oh dear. Sparkle's just dead. Goodbye, jungle. Krampus will find a kick away and survive the experience. Flash forward, chase underneath the turret and get the kill. Glacial Fissure tags Playmaker and Krampus will be knocked into GA. Make it away. What can Playmaker do? Jump in. Krampus shielded up. Krampus survives. Playmaker survives. Nobody dies. Atlas will go down, and Wi-Fi just has to watch from behind the turret as it's now 12-3. Team Got Corky in the lead.
Extremely good timing from Playmaker, getting in there with the CC right as the GA wore off, allowing everyone to get the safety in the end. Obviously, Sly coming in with that Star Surge as well to provide cover. I want to go back to the point we were making earlier, though. There's just so much damage coming out from the side of TGC, and the fact that all players, if they're in trouble, they have a really nice escape, means that it's really hard for KND to fight as a team and just go up on them. But I think that's what they should be doing, though. They should be jumping in and trying to make something happen rather than just letting them take damage, right? And the lack of taking this isn't affecting TGC at all because the opponent just has to run away.
I think that Void Surge should hit Sparkle. Or the Void Seeker, sorry. Really rough times. That actually had knock-on effects because it zones him off of that blue buff. Playmaker is just playing defense. Krampus trying to steal it away will be successfully stolen away. Sparkle now needs to just run as the Baron comes up. They've lost Atlas, so Sparkle goes over the wall!
Oh.
And finally we see the Evelyn full combo land. It took 10 minutes to get the combo onto a vulnerable target, but Krampus just vanishes. And that's actually a very big kill to find because the Drake is coming up.
You know, ironically, I think that last kill by Evelyn kind of illuminated why they're struggling so far. It's because they're all of their champions kind of fight best by themselves, with the exception of Misfortune. And it's really, they haven't really been able to play the team yet, though. But let's see what happens with Drake.
Monarch with good zoning. Drake will be secured. Monarch able to survive as well. Sparkle will get tagged by the Hextech ultimatum. They're dead. Atlas, what can you do? Will you be able to survive? The answer, maybe. Shield fades. Sly will find the stun. No, underneath the turret. And that means that one kill onto Sparkle in exchange for the Rift Herald, or sorry, the Drake. I think you take that. The Rift Herald's on my mind because it did just get summoned here in the mid lane. And there's not going to be anyone in place to catch this, so this is a dead turret.
Baron.
And that means the Baron is vulnerable.
Some of the members of KND are privy to this, but not all of them. I feel like if they just beelined it, they could have maybe done something.
Sly, in trouble around the side of the fight, will be knocked very low. Not killed alone, though, and you needed that. Atlas falls, Sly still alive! As Monarch goes down, it's just Wi-Fi left. A whole lot of low HP people. Can you clean up Sparkle? One kill over. The chase onto Zello. Hate Spikes will connect. Krampus low as well. There are just two Baron buffs surviving. Sparkle has ultimate and will dive in. Krampus drops into the stasis, very well timed. And Sparkle's now in a 1v3 as Sly has come back from base, rejuvenated, full HP, and ready to kill. Sparkle tries to do some fancy footwork with the ultimate, but cannot do so. Will go down. And it is going to be two Baron buffs still up for the side of Team Gut Corky.
I can't tell who was greedier at the end part of that fight. Like, why is Sparkle still there, but why are people still trying to fight him with no health bars? I don't even know what's happening there. One thing was for sure, though. Trifeed really wanted to get that kill on the Sly, and TGC said nope, and just stun chained him to oblivion, and he went from like 75% health to 0, and Sly ended up surviving in the end there. It was pretty awesome to watch.
Unless you're a fan of, oh my lord, Krampus? Okay. We're alright. We're having fun here on our phones.
I feel like if you're not overly aggressive on Lee Sin, you're not playing him right. That's what we've seen from all these pros here.
You ought to be having a little bit too much fun. Trifeed's dead. Yeah. He doesn't know it yet, but watch this. Oh, he flashes! He flashes! Does he get away over the wall? Soju will complete the kill and be able to survive.
Not only did he not know it, but you didn't know it either, TJ.
Yeah, I had a moment of doubt. I was like, wow, he might get away from this.
No, that's no.
Full combo, but Zello is able to just instantly deny his movement with the Hextech ultimatum, and Sparkle blows the ultimate. Good bullet time there from Wi-Fi, but there's just no damage. Wi-Fi's dead, kicked forward by the insect. The entire team is slain underneath this turret, as Zello will complete the kill onto Monarch and then eat 4 consecutive turret shots and go down.
Zello had such an amazing sequence there, starting at the very beginning of the fight against Sparkle, dodging the ultimate in the midst of her Hextech ult, just doing everything perfect, and then diving for the kill. And then after everything was basically perfectly done there by Zello the entire time, after all that, he walks away into 3 turret shots.
Yeah, he aggroed the Nexus turret on the dive, obviously the turret he was fighting under, and then somehow straight into the turret in top lane.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. That's like doing like a triple flip and then just like slipping on a little rock or something. It's like, what? Oh my goodness. Anyway, it was entertaining. The entire sequence was entertaining. That's all we can ask for.
Yeah, really good execution on the fight from Team Gut Corky. And they're now going to pay attention to this Drake. Sparkle's lurking.
Sparkle? You're not in a bush though.
It's all right. Got the Evelyn invisibility.
Oh,
Dive
Okay,
in.
it does, okay.
The steal from Sparkle! Bullet time to try and disengage Sparkle will still go down. Glacial Vision will try and slow down the fight, but Tri-Feed is barely surviving. They're the only AD carry left, as Wi-Fi has already died. Tri-Feed will follow, and it is a complete team wipe, but at least you went out with a Sparkle, as the Drake steal will end game number 2. Team Gut Corky do walk away with the 2-0 in our final game of the evening.
Well done by TGC. Got the Drake. Hashtag work, maybe? Anyway. I do want to cover up for my mistake earlier in not realizing that Evelyn was invisible. Because usually when you're Evelyn yourself, you can see that you're kind of invisible. But for some reason, the spectator mode doesn't. It doesn't show
Spectator
that other
mode does
than,
not
the
give
blue
that
indicator.
like little invisibility indicator.
Hmm.
I understand it.
Making me look stupid. Spectator
I
mode.
don't think the spectator mode needs to do that.
You know what, TJ? You can shut it.
Sorry. Really mean to you today. I don't know why. Let's take a look at the overall records. Poor Monarch. Oh, what a rough time.
Yeah, he was the actual target from the beginning. If you pick Jax, if you pick something kind of off meta, you know you're going to get targeted, and that's what Krampus did from the get-go. He was just in that lane, just waiting for an opportunity the entire time.
Yeah, you can take a look at the gold, and I think that tells the entire story, just nothing happening. And Monarch still did manage to be relevant during the late game as kind of a frontline secondary tank, but it just was never going to happen that they were a damage threat. I would like to see the Monarch's Jax in a better game where they didn't get bullied early. And I don't know whether or not that comes down to Monarch playing Jax better, or maybe a different jungler that can support during the early level fights. Like, we haven't seen any Jarvan today. That's a pick that's very popular in Southeast Asia because of the quick relevancy. You can instantly be doing stuff.
I want to simultaneously praise Wi-Fi for having a much better game on ADC. I kind of blamed him last time for not having much damage on the Xayah, but did very well on the on the Misfortune, the most damage in the game actually.
Yeah, really, lots of really good ultis.
Like, yeah, and it was very apparent too. It's not like it was just cheap damage. It was really deterring the side of TGC for a lot of these fights. The problem is you look at Atlas, and he didn't even take the most damage on his team, right? I just felt like Atlas wasn't really in the right place at the right time. And if you're gonna hold down these Swift members on the side of TGC, you're gonna have to have Atlas in there to provide that buffer. And I just gotta put this on Atlas this time. He just wasn't their first team.
Yeah. It didn't feel like a great support game from Atlas. I also don't like Braum very much. If you're Alistair and 4 people jump on top of you, you can AoE knock up them, and nothing happens, right? They don't get anywhere. If you're Leona, you Solar Flare on the 4-man stack. They're all stunned. You win the fight. If you're Galio, they 4-man dive and you AoE taunt. They're stunned. You win the fight. If you're Braum, you hope they're using projectiles or that you land the sickest Glacial Fissure of all time.
The thing is, they kind of were using projectiles. Like, you remember that one situation when he was
There
just,
was like
had
one
the shield
time
up and he was
where
running away?
it worked so well.
Yeah. Right. But if that was, if he was just in a team fight in that situation rather than him running away by himself, that might have been very useful. So
I think Braum is good, don't get me wrong, but I prefer a lot of the other support packs. I believe that will close out our broadcast day for today. We do have more games still to come, of course, at future dates. We have the rest of the group stage to play out. We'll take a look at how the standings currently are. I will fly the bracket so that we can see the games ongoing. And I will tell you.
I think you need to refresh because Tribe Gaming is showing.
The standings may not have been updated. I will go ahead
I
and
have
hit
round
it with
4
that refresh.
if you want to read round 4. Tribe Gaming defeated Shogun at 2-0. We just saw Team Gut Corky defeat KND 2-0. Naguara defeated Team Snow 2-0. And J4F and Team Divine haven't been updated yet. So that means that Tribe Gaming is now 8-0 in games, and Snow is 0-8 in games.
Oh my god, that was very trippy, but there we go.
Yeah, so we have an 8-0, we have an 0-8 TJ. And those teams have yet to face each other.
Hey, I can scroll now. What a sick universe this is.
Nice.
Yeah. So there are your current standings as they rest, and if we go all the way down here, oh, I cannot scroll to our actual table, but you can see the matches still to come. Some bangers ahead of us. Here are the standings as they currently are. I can't show them to you on screen, but I will read them out to you. Tribe Gaming lead the way, undefeated, with 8 total points. Naguara with 6 points behind them, tied with Team Gut Corky, also at 6 points. I don't believe that last result has yet been, it has been factored in. So, yes, they are tied.
TJ, you're saying the points wrong. Yeah. So, Tribe are 8-0 in games, which means they have 40 points, right? Because they get 10 for every sweep.
Correct.
Right. And Gut Corky, so far, they were 2-1, 2-1, 0-2, 2-0, and 2-0, right? So they got, they have 25 points. Team Gut Corky has 25 points because they have 2 sweeps, 1 win, and 1 loss.
I was going to try and show the standings on screen, and I was like, maybe this will work. This is what
I believe
got.
Naguara is in second. I believe Naguara is in second because they have a 2-0, they have an 0-2, 2-0,
Anyone want fresh kicks?
and 2-1.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
That would be nice. Actually, Naguara also has 25 points. Okay, so Naguara has 25 points. Team Gut Corky have 25 points. Tribe has 40 points. And the rest is kind of just mixed up. The other thing we know is that Snow has 0 points. So
I apologize, I tried to get fancy here, and it just really didn't work. But on the plus side, I don't know, buy some shoes. They're not a sponsor.
The other thing is that we were confused about the round 2, Shogunate versus Team Divine. Apparently it just didn't happen because of confusion.
So does someone get a forfeit win there, or does the record just not?
It just didn't happen.
All right.
I forgot who said what. I forgot what they said about it, but
All right. Well, those are the standings as they currently rest. That will be the end of our broadcast. Find Daniel on Twitter at Daniel T. Akuta, myself at esportsTj. You can follow Stacks Gaming House as well. Be sure to check out the upcoming weeks of broadcast. It'll be at all the same places. The Stacks Game House Trovo channel, my Twitch channel, and I'll try and upload some of the videos to YouTube as well if anyone wants to see them there. I don't know if Stacks is archiving them. Any final thoughts? Any closing things?
it's a little bit what's the word? Anticlimactic in a way. I know I'm supposed to hype things up as the caster, but Tribe just seemed to be absolutely dominant.
Yeah,
it's nice to see them. It's kind
takeaway.
of informative. It's informative to see like how they're playing the game, and I think for the rest of the NA teams, they should really watch Tribe and get maybe some of the other regions to see how to up their games in particular. But Tribe is going to run away with this one in all certainty, and we'll see who's going to be playing for second place. Whether it's Team Gut Corky, whether it's Team Naguara. I'm actually looking forward to that match coming at some point, so we'll see how that turns out as well.
Yeah, I think Tribe are absolutely the team to beat here in North America, and maybe that is the only possible takeaway from the standings as they currently rest. A very big day for Tribe Gaming, and hopefully there will be bigger ones ahead of us as Tribe are finally taken down. For now, though, that will be all. Have a great rest of your own evenings. Play some Wild Rift. I don't know. If you want to. That's my ending. Have a great night. Bye.